The Whanganui Rugby Football Union was formed in April 1888. Based in the city of Whanganui, it encompasses a number of both city and rural heartland rugby clubs. It has a proud grassroots tradition and history of producing talented players who reflect its enduring strength and community spirit. Wanganui's rugby history, like that of Wairarapa in South Canterbury, is of a game that is played to a high standard, competing with much larger unions and more than holding their own. There is a number of Whanganui representatives who for a number of reasons have left the union only to go on to gain national honours. Charles Sealing, known as Bronco, was born in Whanganui. After 5 games for the union, he moved to Auckland, where he continued his provincial rugby career. He gained selection for the All Black Originals Tour of Great Britain in 1905 and in total played 39 times for the All Blacks, including 11 tests. 5/8 Bruce Watt represented Whanganui before moving to Canterbury in 1959, gaining national honours in 1962. Fijian-born winger Wasaki Naholo was selected in 2009 for the Wanganui Heartland side. In 2011 he moved to Taranaki, representing them 44 times and gaining All Black selection in 2015, making the World Cup squad that year. Wanganui-born back Stephen Perofeta represented Whanganui as an 18-year-old in 2015 before transferring to neighbour Taranaki the following year. He was first selected for New Zealand in 2022. Like many of the now smaller New Zealand rugby unions, Whanganui has produced an incredible number of local All Blacks first selected for the national side while playing their rugby within the union. The first of these was wing 3/4 Peter McDonnell, described as tricky and clever. He first played provincial rugby for Hawke's Bay in 1893. The next year he switched to Whanganui and then returned to Hawke's Bay in 1895, then back to Whanganui the year after. McDonnell was selected for his only All Black appearance against Queensland in 1896. 1897 All Black John Blair had represented Whanganui from 1891, primarily as a hooker who also kicked goals. Blair played 9 matches for New Zealand. Hector or Mona Thompson played representative rugby for Wellington, Auckland and Canterbury before settling in Whanganui in 1904. A winger with good pace, Thompson played 15 times for the All Blacks, including 1 test. He was the first player to score 6 tries in a match for New Zealand in 1906 versus British Columbia. Hard-nosed forward Jack Hogan played 2 games for the All Blacks in 1907. He was also a national champion in water polo when Wanganui won the title in 1905. Farming hooker Peter Murray represented Whanganui from 1901 to 1909. He played in 1 test match for New Zealand against the British and Irish Lions in 1908. Ernest Arthur Ballas, known as Moki, became an All Black in 1920, playing 17 matches, including 6 as captain. Moki represented Whanganui 44 times between 1914 and 1931. Pat Potaka represented Whanganui 25 times over a 13-year period, gaining selection for New Zealand in 1923. He was regarded as a utility back, playing in every back position during his career. He was a Maori All Black between 1922 and 1927. Penia Taitua played alongside Potaka for the Rata Club. He first played representative rugby for Hawke's Bay in 1917 as a 16-year-old before returning to his home province, Whanganui, and gaining All Black selection in 1923. It would be almost a decade before Whanganui had another local All Black in George Bullock Douglas, out of the Wanganui Rugby Club. A hard-running outside back, Bullock Douglas played 15 times for the All Blacks, including 5 internationals, crossing for a total of 12 tries. 1949 saw another wing three-quarter, Peter Sammy Henderson, gain selection for New Zealand. He was a member of the ill-fated 1949 All Blacks tour of South Africa, who lost all 4 test matches. Henderson had lightning pace and was a member of the bronze medal-winning 4x110-yard New Zealand relay team at the 1950 Empire Games in Auckland upon his return from South Africa. After rugby, Sammy had a successful career playing professional rugby league in England for Huddersfield between 1950 and 1957. Fellow 1949 All Black South African tourist back Keith Gudsall appeared in 6 matches on the tour, but no tests. He then moved to Sydney to further his studies in 1950, amazingly representing Australia in 3 test matches against the All Blacks in 1951. Harrison Rowley's career as a stock buyer led to the Cromwell-born loose forward representing a number of rural provincial rugby unions over a 6-year period. He earned his only All Black cap in 1949 playing against the touring Australians at Eden Park, while playing for the rural Wanganui Hunterville Rugby Club. Peter Johns was based at the Waiouru military camp. Johns played on the wing for the combined Wanganui King Country side that beat the 1966 touring British and Irish Lions. He was a member of the All Black squad for the 1968 tour of Australia. Born on the East Coast, Hanare Milner, known as Buff, was also a professional soldier based out of Waiouru. He gained All Black selection for the tour of South Africa in 1970, playing 16 matches including 1 international. Prop Sandy McNichol played 34 matches for Whanganui between 1970 and 1973. He was called up as a replacement for New Zealand's 72-73 Northern Tour, playing 5 matches. McNichol finished his rugby career playing 3 years in France. Whanganui born and bred midfield back Bill Osborne is arguably Whanganui's greatest All Black. A fine centre, he was often used by the All Blacks at second 5/8 in partnership with Bruce Robertson, and they formed a top quality combination. Osborne was an extremely strong defensive back and gifted attacker. He played 72 times for Wanganui between 1973 and 1984 and also 10 games for Waikato. As an All Black, he represented New Zealand 48 times, including 16 in Test match rugby. Owakuni halfback Andrew Donald played 118 games for Whanganui between 1976 and 1986. He was unlucky to be playing at a time when New Zealand was served by 2 halfbacks in their prime, Dave Loveridge and Mark Donaldson. Donald, however, had more than a useful record, and even though under the handicap of coming from a smaller union, played well on the sporadic occasions he was an All Black. Andrew Donald rounds out Whanganui's 17 locally selected All Blacks to date.